Hey y'all, it's Care. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming my very first book haul of 2020, and this is the first book haul I've done since last fall of 2019. So I'm really excited about this. This morning I was kind of fiddling around on Goodreads and I realized that 47 of the 67 books that I've read so far this year have been books that I've already owned. I've really done a great job making my way through my backlist, making my way through the books that I've already owned and that I've wanted to get to for a while, so I've kind of rewarded myself by filming this haul. These are all books that I've accumulated over the past few months, I would say. I don't really buy books that often. I do a lot of thrifting, but I have ordered some recently. So I have decided to break this haul up into two different parts, and I will link the timestamps for the two different parts in the description of this video. I'm pretty much making the first part of the video all about the true crime, thrillers, and horror books I've hauled, and then the second half of the video are going to be more like romance or literary fiction with like that romantic tinge. The first book is American Kingpin by Nick Bilton. This is the only true crime book that I have in this haul, and this is about the search for the creator of the Silk Road, which was a trading website on the dark internet. What am I saying? This man named Ross Albright, who is a young programmer, like in his 20s, created this website where people could trade anything. And this website was on the dark web and it was called the Silk Road. So you could trade like counterfeit cash for putting a hit out on somebody. This story is absolutely insane. I first heard about it on the Casefile podcast, which I will link in the description of this video. I listened to this, like, I don't even know how many part series on this, and the narrator of this podcast cited this book as just saying, like, if you are interested in this story, there's so much I can't even get to, so I recommend picking this up. Well, here we are. Next we have Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl. This is the same author as Night Film, and I'm so excited for this book. This is the only psychological thriller that I have in this haul. The rest is going to be horror, but this is the same author as Night Film, which is one of my all-time favorite books. Even though I think this is YA, I do love her writing style, so I don't think that I'm gonna have a problem going from like reading her adult works to reading something that's for young adults. Before I tell you what it's about, just take a second to admire the cover, and it's also one of these small, like, short hardback books. I just am so in love with it. It's gonna look so good on my read shelf once I get it read. But anyway, this is about this group of friends who goes to an isolated setting and has to play this strange game that could possibly be deadly. I don't know that much about it, but I love an isolated setting, so that's really all I needed to know about this to go ahead and pick it up. That and that she wrote Night Film. All right, let's get into horror. First, in horror, we have Let Me In by John Lindquist. I started this book when I was in high school, and it scared me so bad, and I know I've come a long way since then, but I was pretty tough in high school, so I'm hoping that this one really gets under my skin. This is about a young boy and a young girl who strike up this cute little friendship. It's not a cute little friendship, why did I say that? Something is wrong with this girl. She's really strange, and there are people showing up dead in this town, and I think things just go crazy from there. Next is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is about a group of people who go out on this voyage on this ship, and once they get out into the open waters, things start going wrong, and I think this is going to have mermaids in it. And I guess they're gonna be scary mermaids because this is a horror book. This is the Paper Cut Book Club for this month. I don't know if I'm gonna get it finished by the end of May, but I am really excited to get to it soon. The one I'm gonna talk about next, if you've watched any of my recent reading vlogs, I've talked about it nonstop. It's Battle Royale by Kushin Takami. This is about this group of high school students whose class is picked for this annual program where they're taken to this isolated setting, and then they have to battle each other to the death, and there can only be one person left standing, and it's bloody and gruesome and gory. I just love it so much. I'm already on page 82 of this, but I just love that cover. This is the remastered version, and it's translated by Nathan Collins, so I don't know if that's different than any versions that y'all might have, any editions you might have, but yeah, this is what I have, and I'm just so in love with that cover. All right, moving on to part 2 of the video. Let's get into cute contemporary romance books. First is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. This is another one where let's take a second to admire the cover. I absolutely love these cute contemporary romance books that have the animated covers. Oh, they make my heart so happy. But this is about a couple who is engaged to be married. They're already in the stages of planning their wedding, and they begin to fall out of love. So they start this prank war on each other because whoever is the person to break off the engagement also has to pay for the parts of the wedding that are non-refundable. So I think it sounds really fun and cute. I don't know if they're gonna fall back in love or what. Obviously I've not read it yet, but it just sounds really, really fun. I think that this would be a perfect book for this summer. And this is a 2020 release too. I think this came out in April. It's brand new. Really excited for it. Next is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker, and it's about this city girl who moves out into the Alaskan wilderness. Well, I don't know if she moves or if she just goes to visit. I'm not sure, but she goes out there, and I think she falls in love with this guy who they just at first have nothing in common, and it just sounds really, really cute. I think they're gonna be opposites, like an opposites attract romance. I don't know if that's a trope. I'm new to this genre. But anyway, I saw a lot of people getting really excited for the second book that came out in the series, I think last year. I had never heard of this, and so I just got it recently because I couldn't put it off any longer. Ooh, I'm so excited for the next one. It's The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I just finished Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by this author duo, and I loved that book. And a lot of people are saying, oh, if you like that, then you'll love The Unhoneymooners. This would be a perfect summer read. This is about the maid of honor and best man of a wedding party who end up taking the honeymoon that the bride and groom were supposed to take, but then they got sick. So long story short, they have to go together, and I think that they hate each other, so it just sounds really cute, like a hate to love romance where they're just forced to be together. But I don't read a lot of books that have a tropical or exotic setting, and I live in South Georgia, so I would love an escape right now because everything's just not going great in Georgia right now. But I just love this cover. This is definitely one that I think I would turn out on my shelf, but then again, I love that it has the light blue spine here too. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is just so cute. Props to whoever designed this cover. Next is The Right Swipe by Alicia Rye. This is about a woman who creates a dating app. I think she goes on the dating app and possibly finds love. I don't know. I saw a Hallmark movie last year that I don't remember the name of, but it had a similar plot to what this sounds like, and I thought that was such a cute movie, so I figured this is gonna be really cute too. The last little part of this haul is still romance, I think, but it's more literary fiction romance. Don't come for me if they're not. But we have The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo. I've read the back of this book about 3 times now, and I still am not sure what it's about. And that has everything to say about my brain and not this book. That's on me, but I can't retain it right now. I think it just follows this couple over the course of a long time. Like, not that they're together, but just these 2 people, how maybe they come in and out of each other's lives over a long period of time. But this was a Reese's Book Club pick. I don't just do automatic buys for the Reese's Book Club pick, but I do like to keep an eye on them, and this has been on my radar for a long time, so I'm glad I finally have it. Next is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. Now, I've not read Practical Magic, which was the first book, I guess, in the series, but this is the prequel. So I don't know if it matters if I need to read Practical Magic first and then read this and it'll be more meaningful, or if I can just go for this and then do Practical Magic later if I want to. But this was shamelessly a cover buy. It's just so gorgeous. I love the spine, and I am really hoping that I like it so that if I do, I can go ahead and get Practical Magic too. Last is a book that I thrifted yesterday, actually, and it is The Impossible Fortress by Jason Rekulak. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but I saw this marketed, I think, as something for fans of Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore, which I love. I don't know if this is gonna be as smartly written, but I think it's just this video game nerd who has a bunch of guy friends, and then one day discovers, hey, women exist, and he has this romantic awakening. This is really not typically what I like to read. I kind of went out on a limb getting this book, but I love the spine. It's a lady in a little keyhole, so I was sold. That's my first 2020 book haul. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, because I really want to know what I'm getting myself into. I know I just sat here and told you the premise of all of them, but I feel like there's only a few on this list that I actually feel like I know what they're about. So yeah, please let me know if you enjoyed them or if you didn't enjoy them. I want to know about that too. I hope everyone's having a nice start to their summer. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.